Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome back once again to The Edward. I am your host Eddie, and in today's video I will be discussing recent news items in the world of Marvel and DC. So starting off with one of the more recent news items of the day, the production for the upcoming film Deadpool has finished. They have wrapped up and they are all done and ready to go for editing, so that's exciting. The movie is due out February 12th, 2016, so a little less than a year from now, yeah. And Ryan Reynolds tweeted a photo saying, "Well, it's been fun, Deadpool, and we've done a great honor and service to you. Now I'm going to go eat a sandwich," with writing written to a wall of dirt saying Deadpool was here. And of course, the director also confirmed that shooting has wrapped up on that film, and now they are heading into post-production, so that's exciting. And on another note regarding Deadpool, it has been confirmed through some set photos and through multiple articles online that the character Colossus from the X-Men franchise is going to be appearing in the film Deadpool. And it's actually the role has been recast. It's not the same actor who appeared as Colossus in X2, X-Men 3, The Last Stand, and X-Men Days of Future Past. It is a different guy who I read was like 6'10", so he's going to be super, super tall. And from looking at his photos, he looks like he's in great shape, like the guy is built. So, probably a good role. Although, nobody seems to understand or know why the role of Colossus has been recast. It's just the actor who has played Colossus in the past several X-Men films just mentioned how Fox was going to recast that role. Perhaps he had lived up to his contract. Maybe he already did the number of films that they required of him to do. Or maybe he lost interest and he wanted out, or maybe it conflicts with another film that he's doing, or whatever project he may be working on, who knows. But the point is, Colossus is definitely appearing in Deadpool. However, we do not yet know the full extent of his involvement or his role in the film. It's kind of like the whole Batman appearing in Suicide Squad deal. We don't really know yet enough about how much of a role or impact Batman and Colossus will have in their respective upcoming films, Suicide Squad and Deadpool. So we're not sure, but the fact remains that a mutant is appearing. Another mutant besides Deadpool is appearing in a Deadpool film, means that this movie is most likely going to take place in the Fox Marvel universe. Hopefully the same universe as the reboot of Fantastic Four, if it's any good, which, fingers crossed. But definitely in the X-Men universe, that's for sure. So, that's exciting to see that another character has been added to the cast of Deadpool. So that's exciting. So Deadpool has wrapped production, but as these news articles pointed out, that doesn't mean we will stop getting updates about it, because I'm sure we'll get some sneak peek or surprise teaser trailer at Comic-Con in a few months or something. But that's the word on Marvel as of now. Now shifting over to DC, some recent rumors have suggested that the actor Chris Pine, currently best known as Captain Kirk from the Star Trek reboot franchise, is in talks. Rumor has it he is in talks for the role of DC character Colonel Steve Trevor in the upcoming Wonder Woman solo movie. Now, the last we heard about the Wonder Woman movie was that they did have a director picked out, Michelle McLaren, or McLaren. I'm really, really sorry if I'm butchering that last name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. She's directed several episodes of The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, and she's really made a name for herself as a director. And she was originally the director of Wonder Woman. Unfortunately, due to creative differences with Warner Brothers and the big bosses of the DC universe, they decided to go their separate ways. So as of right now, I do not believe the Wonder Woman film has a director, but I know that the last rumor that I read, and this was quite a while ago, this was a couple months ago, the last rumor that I read was that the film Wonder Woman was scheduled to begin shooting this fall of 2015. So that was the last rumor. Keep in mind I said rumor. That was the last rumor I had read, was that Wonder Woman the solo film was supposed to begin production later this fall. However, the film is slated for a 2017 release, but that could very well change. Release dates on movies change all the time, so that very well could change. However, it doesn't change the fact that Warner Brothers could be in the middle of negotiations right now for any and all actors and actresses who want to be a part of the DC universe and appear in multiple films. So maybe that's what they're currently negotiating with Chris Pine right now. However, I wonder if if the rumors will prove true or not, because it might conflict with his commitment to Star Trek, especially since the third Star Trek film is supposed to be beginning filming later this month, and we still do not have a title for it yet, but I'm sure we'll get that information, of course, with everything else right around when Comic-Con comes up, if not sooner. But, I mean, although now that I think about it, Star Trek 3 might be the last Star Trek film they do for a while, because I believe these films were intended to be a trilogy, and with Star Trek 3 finishing, if that is the third and final Star Trek film we're going to get for a while, maybe Chris Pine will be able to commit to the role of Steve Trevor in the DC universe. And I don't know much about Steve Trevor, but I believe he's a colonel in the U.S. military, and he is the lover, or boyfriend, of Wonder Woman. And I think he's like one of the few people who knows her alias, which is Diana Prince. So it's kind of like Alfred knowing Batman's alter ego is Bruce Wayne, and in this case, Steve Trevor knows Wonder Woman is Diana Prince. But they definitely have an intimate relationship throughout the history of the comics, of DC Comics. And it'll be interesting to see if Chris Pine does indeed, in fact, become a part of the DC universe. The last rumor I heard regarding him was that he was in talks or being considered for the role of Green Lantern. And that made me go, no, please, no thank you. We already tried Hal Jordan with the Ryan Reynolds film, and that did not work, as we all know. That movie sucked. No offense to the cast and crew of that film, but that movie really was a big piece of shit. But, unfortunately. But it sounds like these rumors regarding Chris Pine considering the role, or being rumored for the role of Steve Trevor, they seem to have a lot more credence and validity than the Hal Jordan Green Lantern rumors. And quite frankly, I am really pushing for, and I hope they do this, I hope that they are pushing towards a Green Lantern Jon Stewart version. I want to see the Jon Stewart version adapted to the big screen, because I loved Jon Stewart as the Green Lantern in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. He was a great character, and just a hell of a performance by that voice actor too. That was a great Green Lantern. And I'm really, really hoping that regarding the live-action DC cinematic universe, that's the Green Lantern we get. That's the version we get, and people probably want, is Jon Stewart, the black guy, over Hal Jordan, who didn't really work out in his own solo film. However, if they do decide to pursue the Hal Jordan storyline instead of the Jon Stewart storyline, obviously it won't be Ryan Reynolds, because he has a commitment now with Fox Marvel playing Deadpool. So if it is somebody else, let's hope that it's somebody who's not as goofy or cocky as Ryan Reynolds is. Not that I'm saying that it's bad that he is those things. It's great that he is, because it looks like he's going to nail the performance as Deadpool. But just overall, though, getting to my original point, overall, I have a lot more belief in the theory and rumors that Chris Pine could play the role of Colonel Steve Trevor over playing the role of Green Lantern. And if these rumors turn out to be true, that means there's still a good possibility that Warner Brothers is indeed considering Jon Stewart as the Green Lantern that they are going to be going for. Okay, so that's what's been going on with the DC movies lately. And of course, if you guys watched my previous video where I had the half-hour long spiel about Batman appearing in Suicide Squad, exciting. But anyway, moving on to something else that's happened recently in the world of the X-Men and Marvel. There's been some concept art released recently regarding some possibilities, or almost kind of like a storyboard for a scene that may or may not happen in the upcoming X-Men film, X-Men Apocalypse. And from the description, it looks like it's a young Jean Grey and a young Cyclops. Keep in mind that they are both alive thanks to the life-saving film X-Men Days of Future Past. And if I just spoiled X-Men Days of Future Past for you, I'm really sorry. But if you haven't seen it by now, see it, because it is a great, great X-Men movie. In fact, it's almost as good as X2. Not as good as X2, but it's pretty damn close to being up there with it. Anyway, so... And as you know, this movie is going to be set in the early 80s, featuring, once again, a young Charles Xavier, and a young Magneto, and a young Beast, a young Mystique, and several other younger versions of other mutant characters like Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Nightcrawler. And in the concept art, it looks like a complete battle zone, or demilitarized zone, like it's the end of the world, like it's the apocalypse, as the movie is titled. However, I believe the movie title is actually referring to the mutant character Apocalypse and not the actual event, the end of the world itself, just the character name. But anyway, it looks like they're both using, like, Cyclops is using his visors, shooting out his lasers, and Jean Grey is probably using some kind of telekinetic power, like trying to push back the character that they're both acting against. And it looks like it's a character floating up in the sky, and this concept art suggests that it's Jean Grey and Cyclops fighting against a young Storm, which confuses me because in all the films that I've seen, Storm has always been their friend, their ally, and on their side. Now, before I go any further, I should probably just go on for the record. As you guys already know, I am in no way that involved or that familiar with the X-Men comic universe, so the reason as to why Jean Grey and Cyclops may be fighting Storm in this concept art, you guys probably know the answers. Those of you who are comic book fanboys and who know the story with Apocalypse and whatnot, you probably know why that's happening. I personally do not, and the reason why I did not do more research on this concept art is because I didn't want to potentially ruin anything for myself regarding the movie. If I start reading about the comic book storyline involving Apocalypse and all these characters, I didn't want to ruin anything for myself. So that's why I know nothing about it, and I certainly don't know and understand why Storm would be fighting them. However, in the concept art, it does point out that this could be before Storm switches sides from Apocalypse to Charles Xavier. And this suggests that Apocalypse is going to attempt to recruit other mutants to his army to destroy the world, or if not destroy the world, destroy mankind. And then perhaps Charles Xavier will lead the force of mutants, like he's always done in the past, the force of mutants who will fight for both humankind and mutant kind, and they're the only ones that stand in Apocalypse's way and his goals. And perhaps Storm is initially on Apocalypse's side before she realizes she's made a mistake, she's a good person, and she switches to Xavier's side. However, looking closer at the concept art, I cannot say with 100% certainty that it is indeed Storm that Jean Grey and Cyclops are fighting against. It just looks like an individual human being, or most likely a mutant, just floating in the sky, shooting some kind of power or mist at them or whatever, or just like floating up there tauntingly. So it very well may be another mutant, a different mutant, a hostile mutant who's a servant of Apocalypse, so who knows. But the concept art got me excited because I'm already looking forward to this movie. It sounds like it's going to be very, very big on a big, big scale. And Bryan Singer says the director has confirmed that this is like the X-Men, this is the X-Men film that will feature the most sequences of massive, massive, epic scale destruction. So that's saying a lot, because Apocalypse, from what I do know about him, he's a pretty bad-tempered, powerful, nasty dude. So that's something to be excited about. So those are my thoughts on the concept art for X-Men Apocalypse. Overall, cool, looks good, and if it's going to appear in the movie, great. It looks like it could be fun. All right, so putting comic books aside, both Marvel and DC, moving on to other news, it's been confirmed and announced recently that character actor William Fichtner from such films as The Dark Knight, Armageddon, and countless others is going to be appearing in a starring role in the upcoming anticipated sequel Independence Day 2, due out for next summer, June 24th, 2016, featuring Jeff Goldblum and Bill Pullman, and directed by the same director, Roland Emmerich. And so that's exciting. William Fichtner, he's a great character actor, and he's excellent at playing hard-ass military types. And I believe he's supposed to play a general in the sequel, so that's perfect. Maybe he'll be one of the new generals who will be taking the fight to the new alien invaders once they try to attack the Earth again. So that's the most recent juicy bit of news regarding Independence Day 2. And that's what we're calling it for now until we get an official title. But he has joined the cast, and that's great. He's a great character actor. He's done a lot of movies, and he's one of those actors where you recognize him in people, and you will say, "Oh, that guy, cool." And then in other news regarding Independence Day 2, I do not know if this is officially confirmed or not. It may just be a rumor and a flat-out bogus lie. But it seems like they want to do a third and fourth movie as well. It's like they want to turn Independence Day into an enormous franchise. I'm okay with a sequel, but 2 more movies? Like I say, unless I know more information about it, either it's theories or speculation or concrete factual information, I cannot say that I am totally in favor of this idea, and quite frankly, I'm not. Sure, I'm looking forward to the sequel, but I just don't know if a third and fourth movie are completely necessary. I really don't. I mean, I can see why they would want to do it. Obviously, alien invasion movies are really popular, and people get a big kick out of watching the U.S. kick ass against alien invaders. But I just don't think a third and fourth movie is really that necessary. A sequel, that could be fun. That could be fun. Although, those of you like myself who might try to point out fanboys' hypocrisy, I just realized how I'm in favor for a sequel, but technically third and fourth films could be considered sequels, and now I just contradicted myself. So there you go. Self-admitted hypocrite right here. But overall, though, it's exciting that William Fichtner has joined the cast, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure he'll be a great addition to the much-anticipated sequel. All right, you guys, well, that's all I have to report to you for now, unless I hear any further developments or any other juicy tidbits or fantastic new announcements. I will keep you up to date as I keep myself up to date. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like this video, and please share it. And if you guys feel like I missed or glossed over anything at all, just leave your thoughts, opinions, comments below regarding upcoming films based off of comic books. If you could please be courteous and just keep it spoiler-free, we'd all really appreciate it. And let's also be courteous and polite regarding one another's opinions and just be nice about it, because we all just want to get along here, guys. That's the main message. Like I said, I prefer to see fans come together rather than become divided. So thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I hope you've had a great weekend, and I hope your Mondays get off to a good start. And, as always, may the Force be with you.